everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of Supergirl. This time it's Luthors, and it's pretty much exactly as the title says for the whole episode. There's not really a B-plot or anything.
I kind of liked the whole Lena plot, although I do find it annoying when the characters don't believe her, even though it's just annoying to me because I know more than the characters.
Yeah, but that's not their fault. They live in this world. Although you could argue, A, we live in a world where we've got hacking technology, which turns out it was just hacking technology anyway.
And we live in a world with shapeshifter aliens, so it could have been that.
I know. I hate whenever this comes up a lot.
Also, I hate that, okay, their main form of evidence was the video. And there's a part where Wynn says, no, I looked at it, it's clean. But then later on, he figures out that she's innocent because he looks at it again. So clearly, you did not look at it properly and find it clean.
Exactly, but as I was saying, it's, at what point does the court system have to account for the fact that there are shapeshifters? How do they do that? Granted, this isn't the last time that some complication like this will come up. I mean, we've seen this happen already a few times on The Flash, and spoiler alert, we'll see it again in Flash and Supergirl and other shows. There's so many times somebody is framed for a crime because of some either hacking technology, a shapeshifter, any kind of technology.
We had an episode all about that on The Flash with Everyman, how at the end Barry says to Cecile, there's a lot of people who need their names cleared. Look at all the cases where the only evidence was video footage, but all other evidence says that they wouldn't have done it.
This plot comes up multiple times in Flash and Supergirl and other shows. So at what point does, the legal system have to somehow account for that? And how do you account for that?
Yeah,
it's a fun complication if the show would go into it.
Yeah, at this point, video footage can just be thrown away as evidence because you can't prove that that's them.
I mean, even in real life, we're up to that point. Because, this was normal hacking, and you could easily do the same thing in real life. Well, you wouldn't be able to do it to the extent that they did it. You'd be able to do it if you had somebody who at least looked reasonably similar to Lena.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But anyway, the episode was all about Lena. We got a couple of flashbacks, and as well as Lillian telling us the origins of Lena and all that. So
yeah, I was surprised that little boy Lex had hair because I've seen a tiny bit of Smallville, and when we see little boy Lex in that, he's already bald. But that's not a bad thing. That's just a difference in the shows.
Yeah, they're different continuities.
But yeah, so the flashback shows that the father brings home little girl Lena and says we're adopting her. And for whatever reason, Lillian is against that idea at first. And then a bit later in the episode, we learn the reason for that is that her adoptive dad is her real father. He cheated and made Lena with another woman. And when that woman died, he wanted to adopt his daughter.
Yeah, but yeah, it is interesting, and I like that you are right in the sense of anytime we get a very Luthor-heavy episode, especially one that's more than just Lena, we obviously get a lot of mentions of Lex, and as of this point in the show, we haven't physically seen Lex.
Oh yeah, I hate how she keeps saying after what happened with Lex and Superman and all this, but they don't tell us what that is. I suppose we're supposed to assume that stuff from other Superman media happened in the past.
But this
is not the same
That's what
media.
I was going to say. Every version of the story, every version of the story is going to have different things that has happened. So what are you supposed to assume?
Yeah.
I will say, tiny spoiler, we will eventually get proper information on what Lex has done when the show, spoiler, actually has him as a character.
Yeah.
But for now, it's a while before that Lex is actually a real character in the present. He is in jail, but other than that, we don't see him for a while, other than flashbacks.
And it is so annoying.
I'm kind of half and half on it. I can understand why it's annoying, but at the same time, it's kind of cool to leave it a bit of a mystery.
I guess so.
I like the fact that if you're watching this and you're at least vaguely familiar with Superman, you can kind of fill in any Superman plot you want. As long you could just say, right, we know Superman and Lex have been around for a decade. you can just say, because you barely know any of the things Superman has done for a whole decade he's been around. So it's fun to kind of just make up the stories because there's so much he could have done.
I guess so.
And even when we get flashbacks, that's only one flashback. That's only like one flashback out of how many incidents could have happened with Superman. So it is fun to kind of leave it as a mystery because, you know, usually in most mediums, you're getting all the Superman story. Here, it's like, we've said enough about Superman. Let's do something else and just say what you want happened. Which is kind of fun, but I can also understand the frustration if you want to see more Lex, which I agree.
It's not that I want to see more of him, it's just I personally don't like the mystery like you do.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I like the mystery, but at the same time, now that I have, spoiler alert, seen future episodes and know we'll get to see Lex, it's kind of a tease because I'm like, I just can't wait till we see him now. Yeah, but that's a story for another day eventually. But anyway, this episode's still good, especially since, you know, we hadn't seen Lillian, Lena, or any of that stuff for quite a few episodes. So that was good because most of the previous episodes have been relatively filler-based, and it was nice to have one that's more focused on Lena, because she is, or at least develops into one of the more major characters in the show. And we're still kind of, you know, season 2 definitely plays with the should we trust Lena thing, and we're still doing that, which makes sense. They don't drag it on forever, but yeah, we're still kind of playing around with it.
Yeah, but at this point, the whole world knows Lillian's a criminal. I mean, she was on trial, and then the guy comes along and takes her away, which just makes her look even more guilty, which I guess she doesn't care about that, and she's happy to be a fugitive now. But the whole world knows Cadmus bad, Lillian bad, and now the world knows Lena is fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Yeah, and the thing, I do like the fact that this episode pretty much had no B-plots, other than like a couple tiny scenes of the annoying Mon-El drama.
But okay, that's what I was going to get to, is normally it's annoying, but I did not mind it much in this episode.
I didn't mind it. I think they sprinkled it out just enough, and it was just like a small B-plot, but very heavy on the A-plot, and I like that.
Yeah.
Like, some of these episodes have been like 3 or 4 plots, and it's been a bit too much. I like that this one was like 90% the Lena stuff, a little bit of Mon-El sprinkled in, and that's it. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. One thing I like about that ending scene, before the
Crazy
thing happened,
yeah.
I mean this thing with Mon-El. So I was looking at symbolism in this episode, and I noticed that as she was talking to him, she took off her glasses. Although she did then lean in to kiss him, so maybe the reason she took them off is because she thought they might get in the way. However, before she leaned in, my initial thought was taking them off is a nice symbolism for, like, being her true self and being vulnerable, because she was just saying how she hates to feel vulnerable. So that was a nice touch, even though, like I said, there is another reason to take them off. Although, in my experiences, glasses don't really get in the way, but whatever.
I don't know, everyone's different.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But still, like I said, I'm glad this episode focused on the A-plot, and before I watched this episode, I wasn't actually remembering whether or not I was going to like it, and I barely remembered what happened in it, because I knew, okay, it's going to be a Lena plot, we're going to have probably those humming and hawing of if she's good, and sometimes I don't like those episodes.
Yeah, sometimes I don't like Lena stuff, but this one was particularly good to me.
I actually was pleasantly surprised by this, because I didn't have a big
Speaking of
memory.
Lena, I noticed another what could be symbolism. After she finishes talking to Kara, there's a moment where she picks up a chess piece, which then is a nice transition to another flashback. However, I thought it might be a bit of symbolism that the piece she picks up is a white knight. And just, I don't know, the symbolism with the phrase white knight could mean something.
I was watching that scene for a different reason. I thought something was going to happen. I don't know what, but I kept thinking they're lingering on this chess a lot. And I'm thinking, is it going to come into play? But it's just, I don't know, maybe chess has a big impact in her life. But I thought there was going to be something a bit more literal to it.
Well, chess is what her family
Yeah,
does.
I know.
She played it with Lex. Lex played it with the mother. So maybe it just makes her feel connected to her family.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. I know chess is a big part for her, but I thought they were going to do was actually some kind of foreshadowing it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I thought it could
But
mean
oh well,
something.
who knows? But anyway, I'm going to give this episode an 8.5. It was a pretty good season 2 episode.
Yeah, I will actually go 8.5 as well. This is one of the good ones to me.
This was one of the better season 2 episodes. I mean, season 2's been better than season 1 as a whole, but I think we've had some off and on episodes.
I'm definitely excited for the next one because it's one of the few season 2 ones that I remember, because when I initially watched Supergirl, I stopped around this point, around like the last thing I remember is the next episode.
Yeah, I can't remember what the ones after it are, but I know what next episode is. Obviously, we had the cliffhanger with... So yeah, what's the next episode called?
Mr. and Mrs. Mixer-Spittlek.
Have fun saying that one. But yeah, we got Mixie, we saw the cliffhanger, so yeah, obviously we'll get into that next time. But
There's no vowels.
There's no vowels. It's like trying to read Welsh. But enough about that. We will see you next time for more Supergirl and other things as well. See you next time, guys.